Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Mr. Payne bringing you Unit 1, Lesson 6, Mindful Manipulation. A mindful manipulation will be an algebraic technique applied with a purpose in mind, even if we're unsure if the manipulation will result in success. In this sense, we want to give ourselves permission to do manipulations even if they fail to reach our purpose. The exercises in this lesson are about problem solving and using the properties we have learned about in the mindful ways to try to solve problems that are puzzle-like in nature. But we will start with a problem that illustrates the idea. Consider the expression 2x plus 1 and 6x plus 3. Find the value of both expressions when x equals 2. So that just means we're going to take x, which has a value of 2, and we're going to substitute that 2 in for x. So when you write that in, 2 parentheses 2, close it, plus 1. That parentheses shows where you're going to substitute. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is going to give me 5. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. 6 parentheses 2, plus 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is going to give me 15. The B part of that question, what is the ratio of the larger outcome to the smaller? Why did the ratio turn out this way? What property can you use to justify this? Well, the ratio is 15 to 5, so the larger number is 15 to 5, and you could write it like that, 15 to 5. If you simplify that down, it's 3 to 1. And I want you to discuss and think about, why did this happen? Look at the two expressions that were given to you and see if you could figure out why that happened. In exercise number 2, if the expression 3x plus 2 is equal to 7, for some value of x, don't solve for it. In this case, make sure you don't solve for it. Determine the values of each of the following expressions for the same value of x. So we have to understand what they're saying here. They're saying that 3x plus 2 is the same value as 7. So wherever we see 3x plus 2, we're going to plug in a 7. So the first thing I would like you to start off by doing is writing in the 3x plus 2. That has to be part of the equation to start off. And then I'm going to ask yourself, okay, what did I do to this 3x plus 2 to get 6x plus 4? And think about it. What happened to the 3 to get 6, and what happened to the 2 to get 4? And it has to be the same thing if you see both things changing. Well, if you said you multiplied by 2, you would be correct. So I'm going to say, I'm going to put that 2 out front there because that means multiplication. And then I'm just going to go ahead and continue to solve. 2 times 3x is going to give me 6x. I'm sorry. I'm going to back up there. I'm not going to just distribute. I'm going to say, all right, now it says 3x plus 2 is really 7. So I'm going to say 2 times 7. That 3x plus 2 turns into 7. It says it right up top here. 3x plus 2 is 7. So now I'm going to say 2 times 7 is 14. So your answer is 14. The next one, B, is a little bit trickier. I have 3x plus 5. I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to put down my 3x plus 2. I'm going to erase this parenthesis, though, because it kind of tricks you up on this problem a little bit. All right. So what is the only difference between the two? Well, the 3x and the 3x are exactly the same. So nothing really changes. Well, what did I do to the 2 to get it to be 5? What do I have to do to the 2 to make it say 5? If you say plus 3, you would be correct. Now, using the associative property, I can group this guy in right like that. So 3x plus 2 is really 7. 7 plus 3 is now 10. I hope you're starting to get the hint because we're going to do some more examples right now. All right, exercise number 3. The expression 2x plus 5 has a value of 10 for some value of x. Do mindful manipulations on each of the following to find the values of these expressions for the same value of x. So A, 4x plus 10. We're going to start off the same way. We're going to say, all right, 2x plus 5. What did I do to that 2x plus 5 to make it say 4x plus 10? Think about it. Both numbers had changed. What did I do to the 2 to get it to say 4? And what did I do to the 5 to get it to say 10? Well, if you said multiply by 2, you would be correct. And remember, 2x plus 5 is really 10. So I'm going to take that 10 and put it in place of 2x plus 5. 2 times 10 is going to give me 20. We're going to do B the same exact way. We're going to start off with 2x plus 5. We're going to do that for every one of these problems. It's just an easier way to make sure you're solving it properly. Once again, the 2x's don't change. What did I do to the 5 to make it say 20? What do I have to do to the 5 to make it say 20? If you said add 15, you would be correct. Now I'm going to use the associative property to group the 2x plus 5 again and make that say 10. I'm going to substitute the 10 in, plus 15, which is going to give me an answer of 25. Once again, I'm going to start by putting for choice C here, or number C, 2x plus 5 down. Once again, the 2x's stay exactly the same. What do I have to do to the 5 to make it say 1? What do I have to do to the 5 to make it say 1? Well, I have to subtract 4. We'll go ahead and group 2x plus 5 because that's really 10 minus 4 gives me an answer of 6. Hopefully you guys are really starting to see how easy this could be if you put in that 2x plus 5 first. D is a tough problem, and I think that there are some of you out there that can come up with this on your own. Let's take a look at what D, you start off with 2x plus 5. Now, what did I do to both 2x and the positive 5? Pay attention to all the little things in the problem here. You should see the opposite sign. So what do I have to do to this 2x plus 5 to change its signs? Well, if you said multiply by a negative 1, you'd be absolutely correct. So I'm going to say negative 1 times 10, which is going to give me an answer of negative 10. That concludes lesson number 6. Make sure you take the time now to write your WSQ so you can get full credit for your notes.